Hello everyone, how are you all? So now we are starting with what? Place of supply provisions. Marathon revision of place of supply. So why is place of supply important? Why is place of supply important? Whether to see whether a transaction is interstate or intrastate is determined by place of supply. So location of supplier and place of supply. If they are in the same state, union territory, then the transaction is intrastate. But if the location of supplier and place of supplier into different states to different union territories, then the transaction is interstate. Okay. So to very important, whether to levy CGST, SGST or IGST is determined by place of supply. Very quickly, first we'll do section 10. This is regarding what? Section 10 is regarding place of supply of goods. Place of supply of goods other than import and export. Place of supply of goods other than import and export. So here, where the supply involves movement of the goods, whether by supplier or recipient or any other person. So when the supply involves what? Movement of goods. When the supply involves movement of goods either by supplier or recipient or any other person, in that case what is the place of supply? The place of supply is location of goods at the time at which movement of the goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. So in that case the place of supply would be location of goods at the time when the movement terminates for delivery. At the time the movement terminates for delivery. So where the supply involves movement of goods. For example, my goods are moving from Mumbai to Delhi. So where the movement is terminating, Delhi. So what would be the place of supply? Delhi. Okay. So location of the goods at the time where the movement of goods terminates for delivery. For example, I am in Mumbai. I am a supplier. Location of supplier, Mumbai. Place of supplier, Delhi. Location of supplier, place of supplier, different states. The tax that would be levied would be IGST. I hope it is clear. Next. When the goods are delivered to the recipient or any person on the direction of the third person by way of transfer of title or otherwise, bill to ship to model. Kya, what does it what it means? Here for example here Mr. A is the supplier. Mr. A is the supplier. He has sold goods to Mr. B. He is Mr. B. However, Mr. B directed Mr. A, you ship the goods directly to C. So here what to whom it is shipped to? Shipped to C. However, send me the bill. B says send me the bill, I'll make the payment, don't worry, payment will be made by B only. So in this case B is the recipient, the place of supply would be the B's place. ITC, in ITC provision we'll see who will take the ITC. ITC will be taken by B only. And what the place of supply is also fixed at B's place. Even if A has sent the goods to C, in case of bill to ship to scenario, the place of supply would be what? The place of supply would be the principal place of business of the third person, that is B's place would be the place of supply. Okay. Now next, where there is no movement of goods either by the supplier or recipient. When there is no movement of the goods, as such basis I am selling the goods on as such basis. For example, I said okay, the goods are kept here, you can take it. So in that case there is no movement of goods. In that case what would be the place of supply? Location of goods at the time of delivery to recipient. Location of the goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Where the goods are located at the time of delivery. That would be what? That would be place of supply. Next, place of supply of goods purchased over the counter in one state and transported to another state where the supply of goods is made to a person other than registered person. So what is this? Place of supply of goods purchased over the counter and transported to another state where the supply of goods is made to a person other than registered person. That means supplying to an unregistered person. It happens now. For example, I am coming to some other state. I purchase few products over the counter. I am an unregistered person, for example, and I take it to my state for my family, for example. So in this case what will happen? So this is basically for whom? In case of unregistered person, first over the counter purchases are there when someone is going to one state and then transporting it to another state. What would be the place of supply? In that case the place of supply would be location as per the address of the person recorded in the invoice. Whatever the address you have recorded in the invoice, if the supplier has recorded the address, The location of the, as per the address of the person recorded in the invoice. Recording of the name of the state of the said person in the invoice shall be deemed to be recording of the address. It is not necessary to record the complete address, only the name of the state is recorded, then also it is okay. For example, for in my case they have recorded Maharashtra, so that would be sufficient. If the supplier has recorded only Maharashtra, that would be sufficient. Okay. So in case supply is made to unregistered person over the counter, what would be the place of supply? It would be the location as per the address recorded, whatever is the address recorded. Only recording of the name of the state also would be sufficient. Now next, place of supply of goods purchased over the counter in one state and transported to another state, where address of person is not recorded in the invoice, where the address of the person is not recorded in the invoice. In that case, location of supplier. In that case, location of supplier would be the place of supply. Location of supplier would be the place of supply. If you have not recorded the address, they have not recorded my address, then in that case LOS would be the place of supply. Where the goods are assembled or installed at site. When the goods are assembled or installed at site, in that case what would be the place of supply? The place of supply would be where the goods are assembled or installed. Where the goods are assembled or installed would be the place of supply. Where the goods are assembled or where the goods are installed would be the place of supply. So in exam they can give you the question, the machine, whatever you need not think about where is the what is the location of supplier, what is the location of recipient, nothing. What you have to see in case of assembly, you have to see where the goods are assembled. The supplier could be from Mumbai, the recipient would be from Calcutta, but the assembly is done in Bangalore, then Bangalore would be the place of supply. So location where the goods are assembled or installed, would be the place of supply, And last, in case of goods, where the goods are supplied on board a conveyance, like vessel, aircraft, train or motor vehicle. So when the goods are supplied on board, what would be the place of supply? Place where such goods are taken on board, when they were taken on board. So for example, I am purchasing a charger in my Mumbai to Delhi flight. So I'll not see, oh, what's passing, it's Jaipur. No, it's not like that. What we have to do, in case of this example we have taken in class, you remember? So in case I'm taking a Mumbai Delhi flight and I'm purchased a charger in the flight, in that case what would be the place of supply? Where the charger was taken on board. So charger was taken on board, for example, in Mumbai. So in that case, place of supply would be Mumbai. So place where the goods are taken on board. So this is section 10. It applies in case of place of supply of goods. It applies in case of place of supply of goods other than import and export. Okay. So it applies in what? Place of supply of goods other than import and export. So where the supply involves movement of the goods, location of goods, where the movement terminates. Second, goods are delivered to, in case of bill to ship to model, principal place of business of the third person. Third, when there is no movement of goods, then location of goods at the time of delivery, then place of supply of goods in case of other than registered person, in that case the what location as per the address of the person recorded in the invoice, recording of the name of the state it will be sufficient. Then place of supply of goods, when the address is not recorded in the invoice, in case of unregistered person, LOS, good assemble installation at the site, the place where the goods are assembled or installed, and in the last, on board, in case goods are supplied on board a conveyance like a vessel, aircraft, train or motor vehicle, where the goods are taken on board, would be the place of supply. Okay, now this was regarding goods, place of supply of goods other than import and export. Imported, exported goods, not in your syllabus. Okay. So section 10, in this chapter, whatever sections we are seeing is of IGST Act 2017. Section 10 of CGST Act was last chapter, composition. Section 10 of IGST Act is of what? It is of place of supply of goods. Now, place of supply of service, section 12 we are seeing. Section 13 is not in your syllabus again. So section 12 we would be seeing place of supply of service where LOS, LOR in India, both location of supplier, recipient in India. Then the provisions would be of section 12 would be applicable. So place of supply of service where LOS and LOR is in India. When LOS and LOR in India, the place of supply of service would be determined. Place of supply of service would be determined by section 12. Okay. So what does it say? T3OI BP cases. In case of T3OI BP cases, what is important here? In case of T3OI BP cases, what we have you remember what was that? This was a memory technique though. What was that? In case of T3OI BP cases, if you are supplying it to a registered person, location of a registered person would be the place of supply. So we'll see one by one and then we'll again come to the memory technique. First, immovable property. You remember any immovable property related service including accommodation, hotel, boat, vessel, whatever. What is the place of supply? Location at which immovable property or boat or vessel is located or intended to be located. So all the services related to immovable property, it could be service of interior designer also, architect also, real estate agents also, immovable property related services also, any immovable property related service, stay in hotel, boat, vessel, anything. Any immovable property related service, what is the place of supply? The place of supply is location at which immovable property is located or intended to be located. Location at which immovable property is located or intended to be located would be the place of supply. So in case of immovable property related services, what is the place of supply? Location where the immovable property is located or boat or vessel is located. I hope it is clear. Next, if it is located outside India, but immovable property, now see section 12 will apply when the LOS, LOR in India. LOS in India, LOR in India. Shah Rukh Khan is purchasing a property from a builder. Shah Rukh Khan stays in Mumbai, he is in India. The builder is also, for example, in India. So in this case, but the property is in Dubai. So in this case, what would be the place of supply? The place of supply is if it is located outside India. If the property is located outside India, place of supply would be location of recipient. Shah Rukh Khan's location would be the place of supply. Okay. Now, if the immovable property is located in more than one state, then in each state proportion to the value as per the contract, it would be there. But in absence of contract, we'll see the rules. In absence of contract only, we have to see the rules. Okay. So, rules will go later. On this immovable property, there are rules that we'll see. Generally, in the case of immovable property, what is the place of supply? Where the immovable property is located or intended to be located, or where the boat or vessel is located. Correct. Next. Phone buffering cases. You remember phone buffering was the memory technique. PHBFR, personal grooming, health services, beauty treatment, fitness and restaurant catering services. What is the place of supply in all these cases? Location where the services are actually performed. Wherever the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. Location where the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. In case of phone buffering cases, what are the phone buffering cases? Personal grooming, health services, beauty treatment, fitness, restaurant services. Beauty treatment, fitness and restaurant and catering services. So in case of personal grooming, health services, beauty treatment, fitness, restaurant and catering services, phone buffering cases, place of supply would be location where the services are actually performed. Location where the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. Okay. So personal grooming, health services, beauty treatment, fitness. For example, you are taking a subscription of gym. What would be the place of supply? Where the services are actually performed, where the gym is, where the services are actually performed. In restaurant services, you are going eating out in a restaurant. What would be the place of supply? Where the services are performed in the restaurant only. So that would be the place of supply. Okay. Next, training and performance services, training and performance appraisal services. One more T, training. So T3OI BP cases, what does it say? If it is supplied to a registered person, place of supply would be location of such registered person. Okay. So T3OI BP cases, training services. Okay, training services, what does it say? If you are providing it to B2B, location of such registered person would be the place of supply. Location of the registered person would be the place of supply. But if it is B2C, location where the services are actually performed. Location where the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. Location where the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. In case of training services, if it is B2B, location of registered person. For example, I am giving training to chartered accountants. B2B, In that case, it would be location of registered person would be the place of supply. And but if it is B2C, for example, to students, then where the services are actually performed. So where the services are actually performed would be the place of supply. Next, admission to event or amusement park. Now after the exam you would be going to some amusement park and all these. In that case what would be the place of supply? The place of supply will be where the event is actually held or where the park or other place is located. For example, you are going to some amusement park in Magica. So where the park is located, where the amusement park is located would be the place of supply. So in case of admission to event or amusement park, the place of supply would be place where the event is actually held or the park or other place is located, Next, organization of event, including ancillary services and assigning of sponsorship to such event. In that case, what is there? Organization of event. Again T3OIBP cases. O is there. B2B, very clear in exam. Generally they ask you question for B2B maximum times. So if they are asking for B2B, very simple, T3OIBP cases, this is O. So in case of B2B, location of registered person would be the place of supply. But if if it is B2C, then location where the event is actually held would be the place of supply. In case of B2C, where the event is actually held. But now if the event is held outside India, now the event is in Dubai. So in that case, place of supply would be location of recipient. So in case of organization of event, there are three possibilities. One, if it is B2B, very simple, location of registered person. Second, if it is B2C, then where the event is held. If the event is held in India, but if the event is held outside India, in that case, location of recipient would be place of supply. If the event is held in more than one state, if more states are involved, if the event is held in more than one state, then each state in proportion to the value of service provided in each state. Okay, so in case if the event is held in more than one state, each such state in proportion to the value of service provided in each state would be the place of supply. Okay, then transportation of goods including mail and courier. So in case event is held in more than one state, each state in proportion as per the contract. But in absence of contract, again in this point also, in organization of event also, we will go to rules. Okay, rules again not very important from exam point of view. We will quickly see after this section. Next, again one more T, transportation of goods, T3OIBP cases, including mail or courier. So transportation of goods, if it is B2B, very good. Ma'am, transportation of goods T3OI hai. So it would be location of registered person in case of B2B. It would be location of registered person. But if it is B2C, then location where the goods are handed over for the transportation. Would be what? In case of B2C, location where the goods are handed over for transportation would be the place of supply. Where the goods are handed over for transportation. Where the transportation is to a place outside India, now I am sending the goods to Paris, then the place of supply would be destination of such goods. So if LOS and LOR in India, section 12 is applicable and goods are transported outside India, place of supply would be destination of the goods outside India. So in case of transportation of goods including mail or courier, if it is B2B, location of such registered person. If it is B2C, location where the goods are handed over for the transportation. Next, one more T, passenger transportation. B2B, location of such registered person. But if it is B2C, place where the passenger embarks on conveyance for a continuous journey. So in case of passenger transportation, if it is B2B, location of such registered person. But if it is B2C, where the passenger embarks on conveyance for a continuous journey. So in case of passenger transportation, you have to remember two things. If it is B2B, location of such registered person. If it is B2C, where the passenger embarks on conveyance for a continuous journey. embarks on the conveyance for the starts his journey, that would be the place of supply. So for example, I'm going from Mumbai to Pune and it's B2C. I'm going in a bus, passenger transportation. In that case, what would be the place of supply? The place of supply would be, for example, I'm embarking from Mumbai. I'm going to Mumbai to Pune. So the place of supply would be Mumbai. Okay. Now service on board a conveyance. So now I am taking a train or a flight or something. So in that case, service on board a conveyance, location of first scheduled point of departure. Location of first scheduled point of departure of that conveyance for the journey. So first scheduled point of departure would be the place of supply. For example, I am taking a flight from, for example, Mumbai to Delhi. So what is the first scheduled point of departure of that conveyance? Mumbai. That would be the place of supply. So any services I am taking on a flight, what would be the place of supply for those services? That would be the Mumbai. That would be the Mumbai. I hope it is clear. Next again, T3OI BP cases, banking and other financial services including stockbroking. In this, very simple, location of recipient in the records of the supplier. But if the records are, if the location of recipient is not available in the records, then the location of supplier of service. So first LOR if it is in the records, if it is not in the records, then LOS, okay. Then in case of insurance services, what would be the place of supply? In case of T3OI BP cases, So in case of insurance service, what would be the again B2B? B2B if it is, then location of such registered person. But in B2C also location of recipient. In this always it will be LOR. In the records of supplier, insurance company will always have the address of the person whose insurance they have taken. Okay, so if it is B2B, then also the location of registered person. If it is B2C, whatever is the location of recipient will be the place of supply. Okay, so in all these T3OI BP cases, okay, in all these, what is there? Like all these first T stands for training, second T stands for transportation of goods or services, third T stands for passenger transport services, O stands for organization, I stands here for insurance services, B stands for banking and financial services, and then P stands for postpaid mobile connection. That we would be seeing this. Okay, so this T3OI BP cases, in this case, if you are providing it to registered person, always the location of registered person would be the place of supply. In case of advertisement services to government, each of the state, union, territory where the advertisement is broadcasted, displayed, run, disseminated, and all these rules are there for this also, we'll see. And last is telecommunication services. In case of telecommunication service, we'll see. First, if it is related to what? Fixed line, leased line, internet circuits, dish antenna, and all these things are there, then location of such fixed equipment would be the place of supply. Location of equipment, where the equipment is installed, the location of the fixed equipment would be the place of supply. In which cases, if it is related to fixed line, leased internet lines, dish antenna, and all those, in that case, location of fixed equipment would be the place of supply. Second, if it is postpaid mobile phone, you all know what is postpaid mobile phone. So in that case, location of billing address of the recipient, and if it is not available, location of supplier. But generally it doesn't happen. In case of what? In case of postpaid mobile phone, generally the companies have the billing address. So if they have a billing address, then the location of recipient. If not, then the location of supplier. Then in case of prepaid mobile phone, you all know prepaid mobile phone, what is that? Vouchers and all that. So in case of prepaid mobile, internet, DTH services provided through. Now what we have to see, how the prepaid mobile connection internet services has been provided. If it is provided through a selling agent, reseller, distributor, if it is provided through a selling agent, reseller or distributor, the place of supply would be address of such selling, reseller, distributor in the records at the time of supply. Address of such selling agent, reseller, distributor in the records of supplier at the time of supply would be the place of supply. Address of such selling agent would be the place of supply. But if it is through any other mode to end final subscriber, location where the payment is received or sale of voucher is done. So wherever you are paying, you are purchasing the voucher, you are making the payment. So wherever prepayment is received, if it is through any other mode, then in that case it is where the prepayment is received, or in this case where the payment is made through electronic mode, for example online you are purchasing any voucher or something, then the location of recipient in the records of supplier would be the place of supply. And in all other cases, address of the recipient in the records of supplier, and if it is not available, LOS, location of supplier. So if address is there, LOR, if address is not there, LOS, address is not there, LOS. I hope it is clear. Okay, so in case of telecommunication service, we'll see it quickly again. In case of telecommunication service, if it involves fixed line, leased internet circuits, dish antenna, then place of supply would be location of such fixed equipment. Location of fixed equipment. In case of postpaid, billing address of the recipient. If it is not available, LOS. In case of prepaid mobile phone, you have to see how it is being sold. If it is through any reselling agent, reseller, distributor, then that address of that agent. But if it is through any other mode to final subscriber, then where the payment is received. Payment is received online, location of recipient. All other cases, address of recipient. Address of recipient not available, address of supplier. Address of supplier. Now, if these lease circuit line which we have seen, na, lease circuit, fixed line and all these, if it is installed in more than one state, then each state as per the contract. Okay, each state in proportion to the value of service as per the contract. In absence of the contract, we'll see. We will see the rules. Okay. Now, in these specific 12 services which we have seen, there are specific rules are given by which we will determine the place of supply. In all other cases, what would be the place of supply of service? All other cases like chartered accountant service, in this case, company secretary service, anyone. In these cases, what if something is not going in the specific rule? What is the general rule? What is the general rule? So, general rule is, for rest of the service other than those specified above, the default provision has been prescribed as under. Default provision for service other than 12 specified service would be, in case of B2B, place of supply would be location of registered person. Location of registered person would be the place of supply. But if it is B2C, then where the address on record exists, LOR. All other cases, LOS. All other cases, LOS. Okay. So, in this case, default rule for service other than 12 specified service, we will see. In case of B2B, place of supply in all the service except those 12 above. For them the specific rules are given. But all other services, that will come under default rule. What is that default rule? If the service is supplied to B2B, that means to a registered person you are supplying service. The place of supply would be location of such registered person. But if it is B2C, B2B it is very simple. In case of B2B, it is always very simple. In all other services, location of such registered person, because the other person has to take credit. So, place of supply is fixed at his place only. But in case of B2C, where the address on record exists, you have the address. Then LOR, location of recipient. In all other cases, LOS. Okay, so this will apply in all the cases except the specific cases. Now, there are few rules, not important. In exam, 99% possibility up to now, whatever we have studied in this chapter will come. Rules you can skip. We will also quickly see the rules. Very low probability in exams they will ask you. So, we would be doing this part very quickly now. So, one rule is regarding advertisement services, you remember. To compute the proportion of value of advertisement service attributable in different states in absence of contract. If there is no contract between the supplier and the recipient, in that case, how the value would be determined, how the place of supply would be determined, that would be determined as per the rules. This rule 3 is given, we'll see. For example, advertisement is given in newspaper publications. Okay, newspaper publications. Then what would be the place of supply and what would be the value? The amount payable for publishing advertisement in all editions of the newspaper which are published in the state or union territory. Now, when we are coming to rules, when there are different states involved and there is no contract, then we are coming to the rules. Okay. So, in that case, what would be the place of supply and how would be the value? The amount payable for publishing the advertisement in all edition of the newspaper which are published in a state or union territory. In that state or union territory, whatever is the amount payable, on that basis only the value would be determined, the place of supply would be determined in those states. So, for example, I am giving an ad in the newspaper on Beti Bachao. Okay, the government contracts all we are talking about. So Beti Bachao. So in that case, for example, 3 states are involved. So all those 3 states will be the place of supply, and what would be the value, the amount payable in to the for publishing advertisement in that state would be the value would be determined on that basis. Okay, not very important, just we'll quickly do this. Okay, in case of printed material like pamphlets, leaflets, diaries, calendars, t-shirts, so in printed material, pamphlets, and also the government give the advertisement and all, so in that case how the place of supply will be determined, how the value will be apportioned. So in that case, the amount payable for distribution of a specific number of such material, the amount payable for distribution of specific number of such material in a particular state or union territory, in a particular state or union territory. Okay, so the amount payable for distribution of specific number of such material, distribution of specific number of such material would be what? The place of supply and value would be determined on that basis, the distribution of specific number of material in particular state. So for example, there are 500 pamphlets, I am distributing in Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, for example, Gujarat. So 200 pamphlets I am distributing in Maharashtra, 200 pamphlets I am distributing, for example, 200 is a very low number, in Chhattisgarh, and 100 pamphlets in Gujarat. So the place of supply would be Maharashtra, Gujarat and Chhattisgarh. And this, how the value would be determined, the value would be determined on the basis of 2:1 number of pamphlets, okay. So this should be clear. Next, hoardings other than on trains, in that case how it would be apportioned, amount payable for hoarding located in each state, whatever the amount you are paying, on that basis apportionment would be done. So I am giving ads on hoardings in 2 states, for example, in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The place of supply would be Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, and the amount payable on hoarding located in state, I am paid 1 lakh for Chennai, 1 lakh in for example Tamil Nadu, 3 lakhs rupees in Bangalore, Karnataka. So it would be a portion 1:3. Okay. Next is hoarding ads placed on train. When the hoarding ads are placed on trains, when the hoarding ads are placed on train, in that case, what would be the place of supply? What would be the place of supply? And what would be the value? The breakup calculated on the basis of ratio of length of railway track in each state for that train. Ratio of length of railway track in each state for that train, of the amount payable for such advertisement. So length of railway track, for example, my train is passing through 5 states, okay, from Mumbai to, for example, in Chennai, it is passing through 5-7 states. So for example 5 states, so all those 5 states would be the place of supply. The value would be apportioned how? On the basis of ratio we have to find out for that particular train. Rajdhani Express, for example, for that Rajdhani Express, what is the ratio of length of railway track in each state? That is how the value would be apportioned for the ads which are placed on trains. Next, on the back of utility bills of a gas company or oil companies, so you must have seen the utility bills, oil companies, gas companies. You can see in that they have written what they provide you, give sometimes many ads. So how the value would be apportioned, we will see. The amount payable for advertisement on bill pertaining to consumers having billing address in such a state or union territory. So what is the amount payable for the consumers having billing address in that state or union territory? So for example, I am giving some ad, government is giving some ad on the back of utility bill of, for example, 2 states, Maharashtra and for example Chhattisgarh. So what they have to see, what is the amount payable for the consumers having billing address in such a state or union territory. That is how the place of supply and the value would be determined. Next, when there are ads on railway tickets, when there is an ad on railway tickets, okay, on railway tickets you must have seen sometimes there are ads given there. So how it will be calculated? It will be breakup calculated on the basis of ratio of number of railway station in a state or union territory. So for example, in Maharashtra there are 200 railway stations. In Madhya Pradesh, for example, there are 100 railway stations. So some ad is given. In that case, how it will be apportioned in the basis of 2:1. The place of supply would be both Maharashtra as well as Madhya Pradesh. The value would be apportioned on the basis of 2:1. I hope it is clear. In case radio stations, in case ads given on radio stations, in that case, amount payable to such radio station which by virtue of name is a part of the state or union territory. What is the amount payable to such radio stations? whatever is the amount payable to such radio stations would be what? Would be the amount payable to the radio stations would be, this is how the value would be calculated, and the place of supply would be, you know, or again whatever states are involved would all be the place of supply. Now in case of television channels, when the advertisement is, you know, displayed in the television channel, then how will the place of supply will be determined and how the value will be apportioned? So value will be, how the value will be attributed on the basis of viewership of such channel. What? Viewership of such channel in the state, which in turn shall be calculated in the given manner. What? The channel viewership figure will be taken from the figures which are published in Broadcast Audience Research Council, BARC, the channel. So how it will be, the amount will be apportioned on the basis of viewership. Now how you will calculate the viewership? So viewership will be calculated, the channel viewership figure as per Broadcast Audience Research Council, Which figures you will take? You will take the figures of last week of a given quarter, for shall be used for calculating viewership of succeeding quarter. So for example, for July to, you know, July, August, September quarter, we'll see. For July, August, September quarter, if you want, what you will take? April to June quarters, the last week of June. So for July to September quarter, if you want channel viewership figures, you will take it of June last week. Okay. So last quarter's last week figures need to be considered. Then if the viewership figure is for more than one state, for example, this Broadcast Audience Research Council is giving the figures for 2-3 states comprising of a region, which are comprised in one region. In that case, how you will do? In that case, it will be again it will be calculated based on the population of the state. So for that particular state, how you will apply? How you will find out? As per the population, as per latest census. So in case of television channels, what all points we have seen? You have to see on the basis of viewership. On the basis of viewership of such channel, the channel viewership figure, how you will find out? You will find out from Broadcast Audience Research Council, BARC, the last week of a given quarter you will use for calculating viewership of the next quarter. And when there is channel viewership figure, if it is for more than one state, in that case, if it is for a region, for example, in that region there are more than 2, 3, 4 states, for example. So in that case, for that particular state, any particular state, how you will find out? You will find out on the basis of population of that state, on the basis of latest census. Okay. So television, that we have seen. Now next, at the cinema halls, now the advertisements are displayed at the cinema halls. In that case, how it will be calculated? It will be calculated on the basis of amount payable to cinema hall. How it will be calculated? Amount payable to cinema hall screen in a multiplex state or union territory, as the case may be. So on the basis of amount payable to cinema hall. So for example, to PVR I am paying 5 lakhs rupees. Okay. 4 lakhs rupees in Maharashtra, 1 lakh rupees in, you know, this Madhya Pradesh. So how it will be calculated? 4:1 obviously. So the amount payable to cinema hall, very simple it is. Then in case over internet, it is similar to, I'll tell you, the television, internet and SMS. These three are similar, only few differences are there. So now when the advertisement is displayed over internet, then how it will be calculated? First of all, you have to assume that it has been provided all over India. On the basis of internet subscribers, the amount will be attributed. How you will find out internet subscribers? On the basis of data of TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. On the basis of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, the internet subscriber figures will be determined. You have to take figures of last quarter of a given financial year, will be used for calculating number of internet subscriber for the succeeding financial year. So for 24-25, if you want internet subscribers, which data you will use? You will use the data of Jan to March 24 quarter. You will use the data of that figures of last quarter of a given financial will be used for succeeding financial. So for 24-25, what data you will use? Jan to March 24 data of this internet subscribers you are going to use of TRAI. Now again, when the internet subscriber figures which are given by TRAI is for more than one state, it is for a region. In that case, the state data, how you will find out? On the basis of population of that state, ratio of the population of that state or union territory in the latest census. In the latest census, I hope it is clear. Now, next, regarding SMS. Regarding SMS, how you will find out? So it will be on the basis of telecommunication, on the basis of telecommunication subscribers, on the basis of telecommunication subscribers. The number of telecom subscriber in a telecom circle, how you will ascertain? You will ascertain on the basis of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, on the basis of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Okay, on the basis of number of telecom subscribers. The figure for a given quarter will be used for calculating for the next quarter. So for example, July, August, September quarter you want. So you will use data of April to June, okay. So the figure for a given quarter will be used for finding out for calculating subscribers of next quarter. Again, when the telecom circle is comprising of more than one state, for example, for a region it is, then again you will find out the state data on the basis of population of the state or union territory on the basis of latest census, So this just you have to read once, not more much, very rarely that the question could be asked from this particular point. Now next, computation of value of service where immovable property is located in more than one state and where LOS and LOR in India. Now in case of immovable property, what we have seen, where the immovable property is located. Okay, that we have already checked in section 12, but now what happened? The immovable property is located in more than one state. 2, 3, 4 states are involved and a consolidated amount is charged and there is no contract. Then how the place of supply will be determined, how the value will be apportioned? So we'll come to rule in that case. Okay, in absence of contract, we'll come to rules. So if it is regarding what? Lodging accommodation. If it is regarding lodging, immovable property, it is regarding lodging accommodation. It could be in hotel, in guest house, ancillary services. It could be anything. Other than cases where such property is located in 2 or more contiguous states. But if your property is located in 2 or more contiguous states, okay, connecting states, in that case it will not apply. In that case, we'll see next point will apply. Okay, so other than 2 or more contiguous state, in case of accommodation, okay, it could be hotel, in guest house. How the place of supply and value would be determined on the basis of number of nights stayed in such property, So for example, in Mumbai, I have a consolidated amount I have paid to Taj. Okay, 50,000 rupees. So I am staying 2 days in Mumbai and 2 days in Goa, 2 nights in Goa, 2 nights in Mumbai. So in this case, in the ratio of 1:1, it would be divided in the ratio of 1:1 in absence of contract. Now, all other services in relation to immovable property, any other service in relation to immovable property, it could be accommodation for organizing marriage reception in 2 or more states, for example, if it is involved, or accommodation where there are 2 or more contiguous states, In that case, it will be on the basis of area of immovable property lying in each state. It will be on the basis of area of immovable property lying in each of the state or union territory. And last, service by way of lodging accommodation by a houseboat or vessel and its ancillary services. Again, more than 2 or more states are involved here and a consolidated amount is charged and in absence of contract. What if you are lodging or accommodation by houseboat, vessel and ancillary services? In that case, time spent by the boat or vessel in each state, union territory to be determined on the basis of declaration made by the service provider. So in that case, what? Time spent by boat or vessel in each state, union territory, to be determined on the basis of declaration made by the service provider. Time spent by boat in each state or union territory. Time spent by boat in each state or union territory. Okay, so simple it is. Then in case of event, okay, it is not important also, they will not ask, you can definitely skip in this. In the case of event, when it is in more than one state or union territory, if there is a contract or agreement, then as per contract or agreement. In absence of contract, what did they said? As per generally accepted accounting principles, gap. That's it. So not very important. Okay, now next. In case where lease circuit is installed in more than one state, we have seen lease circuit is installed in more than one state. In that case, what did they say? On the basis of number of points lying in the state or union territory. What you have to see, how many points are in which state. So for example, 2 points are in Tamil Nadu, 1 in Karnataka. So in that ratio of 2:1, that's it. Next, place of supply in case of advertisement sector. Place of supply in case of advertisement sector. So in case of advertisement sector, what you have to see, when there is sale of space, or sale of right to use space, when there is sale of space or sale of right to use space on the hoarding structure belonging to the vendor to the client advertisement company for display of advertisement on the said hoarding structure. The question is, what is the place of supply? So in case of sale of space or sale of right to use space, sale of right to use space on hoarding or structure, what would be the place of supply? The question is. Now the hoarding structures are what? Immovable property. What is the place of supply in case of immovable property? Location where the property is located. So the place of supply of hoarding structure, in this case, what would be the place of supply? Where the hoarding or structure is located. Where the hoarding or structure is located would be the place of supply. Would be the place of supply. One thing. Okay. Now the second thing. What is the second issue? What is the second issue? In case there is no sale of space or right to use space, no sale of space or no right to use space, okay, so the advertisement company wants to display advertisement on hoarding billboards at specific location. They are availing the services of the vendor may be in the possession of hoarding, or he can take it from someone. So in this case there is no sale of space or no sale of right to use space. So when there is no sale of space or no right to use space, in that case it is purely in the nature of advertisement service. In case of advertisement service, only the default rule will apply, and the place of supply would be determined as per the provisions of 12.2. As per the provisions of 12.2, the place of supply would be determined. Very simple. The default rule will apply. Default rule will apply. And last, in this last clarification which has come, is regarding the supply of goods particularly supplied through e-com to unregistered person, where billing address is different from the address of delivery. Now the billing address is different, address of delivery is different. So what did they ask in case of unregistered person? For example, I have ordered an this mobile phone. In this, the example which is given is Mr. A has ordered mobile phone. He is located in X state. However, the delivery address is of Y state. So what is the place of supply should be taken? So address of delivery is to be taken. In case of unregistered person, address of delivery is to be taken, and that address should also be recorded in the invoice. Address of delivery will be the place of supply in case of unregistered person. Okay. So very simple one clarification has come, and this is where we complete this chapter. We'll stop our discussion over here for this chapter. In the next video we'll be doing the next video and next chapter. And if you like these videos, please like, subscribe and do share it with your friends. Okay, so friends, thank you for now.